Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I have another review for you, and a big one from me. This is Image Comics Vinyl issue number 5. It is written by Doug Wagner, artist by Daniel Hillyard, colors by Dave Stewart, letters by Ed Dukeshire. One of my top reads of the year. I love this team that's doing the comic. The letters, colors, artist, and writing, yes, 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 all check mark for me. This is the second time they have worked together as far as I know, their first one being under the Image Comics label, but Plastic was their first run. For those of you that don't know this story by now, I have reviewed each 4 issues before this, but this is basically a kind of a serial killer like team up type of book. The main serial killer, Walter, the vinyl killer, is trying to rescue his FBI friend Dennis. He has been captured by the Sunflower Cult run by Madeline, and he has gathered a kind of a supervillain team, if you will, of other serial killer friends that he has met throughout the years. And basically they kind of stormed the compound to try and get Dennis back. At this point, it started out, it was Walter, the twins, Guy, Renee, there's another FBI agent, and I think her name is Vic, and then that's basically, and then the vinyl killer. At this point in the story, some of the different members of the group have already met their sad demise. We lost the twins, and we also lost Guy in the previous issues, and now we just are left with Renee, Vic, and the vinyl killer. And currently in the book you find out that the vinyl killer, the reason he goes by the vinyl and why it plays such an important part of the story, especially since each one of these you're supposed to listen to a soundtrack behind it, but the last 2 issues not so much, because the vinyl killer has I'm drawing a blank at the term, but he has no memory, and he has to use music to recall memory. So he constantly has to have music playing to recall certain people, events, what's going on. At this, he uses a iPod to kind of go through the music to make sure he remembers everything, and he carries it and it's playing all the time. It gets to the point in the story where the iPod was broken and now he's without music, hence that's why you weren't supposed to listen to music the last 2 issues. And it's kind of where we are in the story. We were at a situation where it's gone full circle. We're all the way back at the end of the first book, and at the very first book they showed us a scene. You know, that's basically where we're at in the Sunflower Cult. Madeline has released her mother. It looks like a deranged zombie type of creature, and the mother is in a room with you know, basically the vinyl killer and Dennis, and she's about to kill Dennis. On the other end you have Vic and Renee, and they're getting ready for some big kind of a diapered baby looking guy. But both sides, both groups suffering losses, and then Vinyl not really being active because he can't remember even what he's doing or who he is or anything like that. So the book starts out, and it actually starts out with Renee. She's a serial killer who likes to fillet her victims. She likes to skin, and then she makes costumes out of their skin. And the twins, if they had ever, you know, met their end, if they died, they wanted to be, you know, they wanted to be killed by her, and they wanted to be made into the costumes, you know. She is completing that promise in the beginning of this issue. She is making what, you know, like she kind of makes a mask out of their faces, and then she takes a bath in their blood. At the same time, Vic is trying to barricade the room because the zombie, you know, it's not a zombie, it's like a big man, baby looking guy, is coming in with a knife, and they kind of flash back over because the zombie mom character is getting very close to killing Dennis. Vic, after she has barricaded the room, she is trying to connect the intercom system because they have found a vinyl player, and they're trying to get music to play through the whole compound, which he successfully finally does right as the like baby guy comes through the room crashing. Renee at this time being, you know, in kind of a bath of blood from the twins, and she's not even, you know, she's under the water at this time, and Vic's freaking out because Renee's of no help, and she's like, come on man, you gotta come out of the bath type thing. As the music starts up, instantly, you know, the vinyl killer remembers what he's doing, who he is, what he's supposed to be doing, throws on his mask and gets to work. We get to the moment where the zombie, you know, tramp looking woman type of creature, you know, was about to kill Dennis in the very first issue, and how he, you know, Walter ended up saving him. But we see that, you know, he grabs the axe, turns around, puts the axe in Mom's head, and splashes it around, and that's the end of that mom zombie thing. Dennis being kind of like super crazed out because he was saved by the you know, because he is an FBI agent, and all along he has been behind the, you know, he has been after the vinyl killer, not knowing it was really Walter, but with a strong premonition that it was. We jump back over to the, you know, baby, you know, man thing, and he's trying to kill Vic and almost getting close to her, and then all of a sudden Renee pops out of the blood wearing the her new mask, and she has fashioned two of their like arm bones into kind of like they just look like long spikes, or, you know, kind of like batons with sharp edges, if you will. And she starts attacking the guy, and first off, he's so massive he just kind of tosses her around, and he does take some kind of damage, but he's and she flies off. But she quickly runs up to him and slashes his Achilles heels, and then goes after his jewels per se with both spiky points, and a very glorious bloody fashion, and then kind of takes the two sticky points right through the skull line there, and kind of that's the end of the man baby thing. Vic thanking the heck out of Renee for saving her life, and they quickly try to, you know, jump back over to where, you know, Dennis and Walter was, because they're not too far away in the compound from where they were. Everybody finally rejoicing, and you know, them you know, kind of you know, checking everybody, making sure everything's okay, revealing to you know, Walter that he did lose two of his you know, the twins and Guy that they both cherished. There is backstories about how Vic tells you know, Walter about he was right, because they go back to the scene where he originally kidnapped her at the end of, you know, during the events of the first issue and the second issue, and they kind of show that he has a scene when he had her kidnapped, and it was kind of the moment when he got her on board with this plan, because at this point they're a teen kind of thing, and they go back and he tells her, you know, that if she would go along with the plan that he set out, that it would change her life, but for a good way, you know, that she would come out of this being a better person, being able to read people in a different light, getting to know these type of serial killers on a friendly type of, you know, like a teammate type of a situation. And as the vinyl killer is getting everybody to safety, because he is, you know, kind of herding them to the exit as the flashbacks are going on with Vic, and she kind of announces that she prefers going by Victoria. She turns around, she does tell him that he was 100% correct, and as this is happening, you know, she gives the vinyl record that Dennis promised that he would give Walter if he ever confessed to being the vinyl killer, and she gives it to Dennis, and Dennis kind of pauses, and he's like, well, thank you for saving my life, and he's supposed to give the record, and he never does. But at the same time, Walter turns around and tells him that he can't go with them, that he has to complete what he has to do, and that is taking out Madeline. Madeline's gone too far. The cult is too massive, and it's not just at this one compound, because it is a cult type thing. But he's really afraid of all their safeties and stuff, because they've all gotten involved, and not just for their safety, but families on families on families, you know. So he's going to finish the mission, and that's where this issue leaves off. There is another side story with you know, with a guy, the other serial killer that ends up perishing, and it's you know, it's a side story that involves like the way he went out in the end, and how Walter had told him that if he did join him on this mission, that it would be like a glorious ending. And then if you saw how he sadly met his demise in issue number 3, it was pretty glorious. But hey, I mean, my honest, this is one of my favorite reads. I mean, it's really hard to say what's my top read. I want to say my top reads of the week, but this is definitely one of my favorite reads of 2021, and maybe, you know, one of my favorite reads overall. But the story's not finished, and it depends on how it ends, you know. But I've enjoyed every single issue. The colors pop. The art is just brilliant. It's gory in the right type of ways, and it's kind of a comedic nature about it, but there is a lot of comedy into it. I love the Easter eggs that are there. I love the Easter eggs that keep coming. But to me, I just love the story. It's something different, and most people enjoy serial killers, so why not a serial killer team up, you know what I'm saying? But hey, that's my review, my honest thoughts, my honest opinions. That doesn't mean you'll like it. I highly suggest, you know, checking it out for yourself and seeing what seeing what you think, and then coming back and checking, you know, comparatively my thoughts, kind of thing. I don't know, but rambling now. I'll see y'all guys later. Yeah.